Hey guys, so today I am going to compare and review three 18-inch Chinas from Zildjian. We're going to take a look at the A series or A Zildjian series China High, the A Custom China, and from the FX series, the Oriental China Trash. You're going to hear a ton of sound samples today, plus detailed information on the characteristics of their sounds. Before we get started, just as a note, the A Custom, I have had this guy for a little while now. I've been using him in the studio, but I did just clean him up for purposes of this video. These other two are brand spanking new though. Also, if you enjoy this video and you don't want to miss out on other similar related content, then please don't forget to subscribe. All right, so starting with the A Zildjian series China High. So obviously it has a traditional finish, uniform hammering. It should be very bright. In fact, this should be the brightest cymbal that we look at today of the three. Like other cymbals in the A Zildjian line, it should not be dry. In fact, it should be the least dry of all the cymbals we're looking at today, which means it should produce the most amount of overtones. It should also have the most amount of stick definition between the three. That means that if we were not hitting it on the side, but if we were hitting with the tip of the stick directly on the cymbal, it should produce the most pronounced sticking sound. And as far as sustain is concerned, it should have about a medium amount of sustain relative to the other two Chinas. Moving on to the China from the A Custom line. So this has actually been my go-to China, this line of Chinas, for the last couple of decades. I find it just has a much smoother sound relative to the China High. I attribute that to it having less overtones, which is to say that it's drier. In fact, it should be the driest of the group. Similar to other cymbals in the A Custom line, it has a brilliant finish, uniform hammering. It should have a very high amount of definition, the highest amount of the group. So if I were to be hitting the middle part with the stick, again, it's going to produce the most amount of stick definition of the group. So as far as kind of like decay is concerned, it should have the least amount of sustain relative to the other three. So when you hit it, it's going to be, maybe the most explosive and then try to get out of your way. Moving on to the Oriental China Trash. Again, this is from the FX line. This is actually the first time I have ever used this cymbal, so I'm kind of a little excited to try this out and hear how it sounds. It looks like it's got a brilliant finish, similar to the A Custom. However, the hammering on this is very unique. If you take a look, in this middle section here, the hammering is random. All right, it's the only one of these three where the hammering is random, like you would see on a K. But towards the edge, the hammering's actually uniform, and it looks like it's the same sort of hammering that you see on the standard A series. So that's a very unique thing in the Zildjian line, where they have a different type of hammering on one part of the cymbal relative to another. It should also have less overtones, be drier, and it should have less sticking definition relative, especially to the A series cymbal. I'm guessing that's probably because of all of the random hammering that happens on the bulk of the cymbal. As far as sustain is concerned on this guy, so Zildjian's site, they say in one part that this has the most sustain relative to the other group, but they also say it will produce a kind of like short, trashy sound. So it kind of conflicting information. We're gonna actually try this out and find out for real how much sustain this has relative to the others. Before we jump into the sound samples, just one last thing for those of you interested in what the recording setup is. I am going to be using Earthwork microphones for my overheads. That's gonna be running into an A Design Pacifica preamp. Once in the DAW, I'm not applying any compression or EQ. The only thing going on for the overhead mics is a little bit of phase correction. I will be doing some post-processing though for the drum tracks. So which one of these Chinas was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. As noted, I do have other drum gear related videos coming out about cymbals and sticks and all sorts of other good stuff, along with information on how to record your drums in your own home studio. So if you don't want to miss out on that stuff, then don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace.